Hey y'all, welcome back to the garage, welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to our Dodge 100, which is right back here. And last time we were here, I was doing the live video. Thank you to all 1,600 of you that tuned in, but you didn't subscribe. So go down and hit that subscribe button if you would. But anyhow, we had started on the oil bath air cleaner that was just not practical anymore, and basically we were going to convert it over to a element style air cleaner. Well, in the live video you saw that I had to work a lot of the dents out, things like that. Even drilled a hole in the bottom in which we flushed it all out with wax and grease remover, which reminds me, that is wax and grease remover. You can get that pretty much at any one of your automotive paint stores in any town. And then that is a USC handy sprayer. Now that's a little expensive of a sprayer. You don't necessarily need one that expensive. I think that one runs like $70 to $80, but you can get a cheaper one. But if you buy those two products, guys, you will never buy engine degreaser, brake cleaner, any of that stuff ever again. That is all you will use. That's generally about $21, $22. Like, takes the place of cases and cases of brake and parts cleaner. And to prove that to you guys, I stuck one of my stick lights up there so that you guys could see the engine compartment. And I'll explain that in a second here, but look how nice and clean that engine is. It has a lot to do with that wax and grease remover, and it's got a lot to do with that pump sprayer. So you can get in there and get that stuff all sprayed out, get all that oil and gunk out of there. Anyways, let's get back talking about this oil bath. So when we started on this oil bath, the lid was all smashed in. You saw in the live video how I straightened that out. I body worked the body of it as much as I possibly could. We drilled a hole in the bottom. Again, I rinsed it all out with wax and grease remover. I body worked it, painted it in SEM trim black, which you guys have seen me use a million times. And then on the inside, this was actually a little bit of the difficult part, was finding a air cleaner that was going to fit inside of here. But I was able to go on to, okay, there's our lid. As you saw, I have gone around and put some 7/8 holes through it so it can breathe considerably easier. I'm just going to set that off to the side. And then I found a K&N air filter that fits in there. It is the right height, it is the right diameter, but I still had to seal this off. Okay, on the bottom of the lid, I ended up putting a rubber base in there. So that rubber base, I'm going to show this stuff to you so you know what that product is. So that rubber base that I put down on the inside of that air cleaner, this is what the material is. It's Sikaflex 221. There's a couple of things I'm going to warn you of. If you go online and you buy this, and I will put a link to it down in the description, same thing with that, same thing with wax and grease, because I think you can order it through Amazon. If you order this, don't leave it on your shelf. It is not going to last very long. It has a very short shelf life. Number two, it is quite expensive. It is a really good multi-purpose polyurethane sealant adhesive. The nice thing about it is this has been drying for days. It stays pliable. It doesn't crack. It stays completely as a rubber type compound. That's what we used on the inside of that air cleaner, is the Sikaflex 221. And then you have the soft seal on the top of your K&N filter, and between that soft seal and this soft seal, you get an airtight fit between the lid and here. We don't have to worry about all those ridges. Not only that, it really stiffened up this lid. It was pretty beat, like it was pretty flat. And then on the inside, I did the exact same thing. I laid a rubber bed in there, let that dry for 48 hours, put the K&N decal, so if anyone else services that, they don't go throwing away his filter. This thing was kind of expensive, but you can research them by size on their website. Anyways, put that in there, let it dry. We got a rubber base down bottom now. Got a rubber base on the bottom of our filter. That sits nice in there. Lid goes on. Still got our big air gap all the way around. Wing nut. And now we don't have to worry, and you don't have to go cranking it down either. Just nice and firm. How nice and stiff that is. Anyways, got that all done, but one of the main problems that we were having was this oil bath. Well, to be clear, we weren't sure if it was the air filter or the carburetor, but we had all sorts of leakage down here on the manifold. It turned out it was the oil bath that was leaking after all of these years. Anyways, used my wax and grease, my pump sprayer, got that all sprayed out, stripped the valve covers, redid the inner fender wells, sprayed all those in trim black, stripped and redid this. We did our generator wiring because the generator wiring was running into the throttle linkage back there, and we don't want that happening. Straightened out some other wiring, ended up putting a brake switch, low pressure hydraulic valve in, put in a new turn signal switch, took care of a few other wiring things, and above and beyond that, that's, oh, what else did we do? Oh, we did hood bumpers on either side, fixed up the hinge. It was nice and loose, so the hood wasn't sitting nice and solid on here. And then new hot water control valve, and he is ready to go. And as soon as he picks this one up, you guys are going to get to see one of the other ones that he owns that has the modern day Hemi swap in it, but it's got a little bit of a running problem, as he told me this morning. So he's going to pick this up. We're going to get the other one, and I'm going to be able to show you a video on one that's had a nice modern day powertrain swap put in it. Guys, thanks for tuning in. Be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, hit that button down below, and we will catch you next time.